Hi, I'm Dave Goff.
And I'm Josh Albin.
And we are presenting our budget project
for Star Iowa.
All right, so the first slide shows our identified need. And based on our 2011 school report card and AYP, Star Iowa shows severe deficits in three areas. Math was 46% not met, writing also 46% not met, and ELA 39% not met.
So with that, and looking at our school report card and our pass scores, our school's pass scores for 2010 were below the scores of middle schools like ours. Student scoring exemplary were at 16.2%, while schools like ours were at 28.2%. Students scoring met at our school were 38.7%, and other schools like ours were 39.8%. However, not met scores at our school were at a 45.1%, while schools like ours were at 32%. And those were for our math scores. For our English and writing pass scores, we were within 2 or 3% of schools like ours in all three of the categories. The following is our 2011 pass math scores as compared to schools like ours. Exemplary, 14.3% to 26%. Met, 39.6% to 44.2%. And not met, 46% to 29.8%. English pass scores are as follows. Exemplary for our school, 30.4% compared to 33.3%. Met was 30.6% compared to 33.9%. And not met, 39% to 33.3%. Finally, our writing scores was one category where we outperformed other schools like ours in exemplary. We were 27% compared to 25.3%, which was good. However, our writing scores in the met category were 27% compared to 41%, and not met 46% compared to 34%. Overall, there are more students scoring not met in math and English, and because the data shows a bigger deficit in math at our school, we have allocated more funds for math remediation and math programs.
Our next slide is showing other sources of data. And the demographics, local businesses, environment, school environment, and immediate area outside our school, the location. And then in writing a vision statement, teacher, staff, PTSA, and community input would be very important. The school is a product of the community around it, so the vision needs to involve the community to serve the community. That's it.
So our next slide is our vision statement. And the vision of Star Iowa is to actively engage students using a rigorous curriculum to promote student achievement in the decision-making process and encourage the use of technology to improve student outcomes.
Okay. Our next slide shows the research-based strategies that we would use. Our goals are smaller class sizes. So research shows students benefit by having 22 to 25 students per class. It shows that will improve student achievement.
And in some cases, as you'll see on our Excel sheet, that we actually had smaller class sizes than that.
That's right. Now, hands-on learning, also something that research shows works, because according to Kaplan and Owings from 2003, students using hands-on learning outperformed their peers by 70% of a grade level in math and 40% of a grade level in science. So the purchase of manipulatives for math science laboratory would be a focus of ours, and we do want to focus on low-scoring students to bring them up. Also technology. Research shows using technology can improve student achievement when implemented correctly. For example, as supplemental practices after lessons. So we will purchase a laptop cart and an iPad cart, which is in our Excel spreadsheet, as you can see. And the math lab will be available as an elective, but it could possibly be mandatory for some students with very low scores and or achievement in math. So we're going to keep that as something we can do. And then we also have an after-school remediation program that will focus on both math and reading and writing. And this program will also be developed and implemented with faculty input based on research. So funds have been allocated for a daily after-school program. And then F, that's right. All right. Now, okay, from an efficiency standpoint, why is it important to reallocate resources and to change previous allocation patterns or personal assignments in support of school goals? Well, our goal as a school is to increase student achievement in math and English based on our school report card, which shows deficits in both areas as compared to schools like ours. Because we need to increase math scores, 46% of students were not met in math, we have decided to offer a math science lab. Research shows hands-on is very important for math and science concept retention. All right, now we have a grant of $15,000, and this grant will purchase the reading program Read 180. And it's going to be used during a summer school program because the grant was specifically given to us for summer school. We wrote this grant to purchase a reading program to increase rigor in reading and writing scores. Because that is one of our deficits and we need to increase our scores. And then the School Improvement Committee, and the PTSA, and the community members were involved in the decision-making process for this grant. So we're using it as the community of the school wants it for this summer school program.
Yes. And our next slide is our building consensus. What we're going to do as leaders of the school, the professional development will be held at the beginning of the year to explain research-based decisions for the math science lab, hands-on learning materials, and the class size allocations, along with the focus on remediation and writing, all across the curriculum. We'll demonstrate how these new programs and strategies will help improve student achievement, scores on pass, and school report card growth rating and absolute rating. Following our vision statement, all staff will be included in these decisions and how the programs will be put into place following the research. Programs will be continuously monitored and revised if needed based on benchmarks, tests, teacher input, and research.
Now, our advocacy, as far as that goes, we our state advocacy is the AYP. And federal, we have to look at PASS and our school report card. So our budget supports, looking at this information, our budget supports what we're doing. After looking at AYP and PASS and school report card, we feel like we're using our budget correctly and putting in some programs into place.
To build our equity.
That's right.
Equity and advocacy of the students.
That's correct. And the needs of our school for things that are not funded, we did put our math and science lab into place, and we would like to get through that. We feel that with what we have, we'll be able to get most students through that, but eventually it would be nice to have more funds and more allocations towards that program to allow that to happen for all students.
And also what we would like to have funded, which we did not have money for, is to have an extra run of buses to go out, maybe to pick up the kids early, or bring to get the students there early for our tutoring sessions in the morning. Otherwise, during our after-school program, so those students have a ride home. But those things are something that we still need, and we're not unfunded.
Right. So with what we're doing now, we can show after a year of the progress we've made with what we've done, so we can advocate for more to possibly increase what we're doing. Once we show that it works, maybe we can get more to make it work even better.
Yes.
All right.
And our last slide is our references.
So please take a look at them carefully. They're good references.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I guess